Good afternoon. Welcome to the Walker Room in the Fayetteville Public Library. We are delighted to be here today and use this wonderful facility. I'm Wayne Mays with the Chamber of Commerce, Fayetteville Chamber of Commerce, and we're partnering for these forums. This is the first of 5, and we're partnering with our friends, the library, to our host today. We appreciate them very much, and with our presenting sponsor, Ozarks Electric and Ozarks Go. Thank you for each of you citizens that have come out. And you're witnessing an opportunity for an organization like the Chamber to provide a civic service. And the civic service we want to provide is to get candidates for city offices in front of you. You will not be able to ask them questions directly, but if we've done our job well and studied the issues, and we have, we'll be asking questions that we think will touch on the major subjects that you would want to hear. Some of you may have sent me questions. I got some by email. And when I did my best to incorporate those questions into them. Most of those were directed to council members, however, and not to clerks. So our objective is to give the candidates the opportunity to communicate to voters. So this is a forum, not a debate. The candidates will not be interacting with each other. They will simply be answering questions that I give them. We'll alternate asking questions. That way nobody gets a perceived advantage. And our timekeeper today for this event is Tamika Ball. She is with the Fayetteville Library, employee here, and I think she said she's not a graduate yet, but is a member of the Fayetteville Chamber Adult Leadership class. Right. We appreciate that. We've got 4 more folks coming in each of our events from that leadership class to do the timekeeping for us, and we really appreciate it. I'll ask the candidates the questions. They'll respond to me. They will each get a 2-minute opening. They will each get a 2-minute closing, and they will have 2 minutes to respond to each question. Now, I always like to put the phrase up to in there. Today, nobody is timing anybody in terms of gotcha. What we're saying is they have up to 2 minutes to answer a question. Yeah, you know, if it's a yes or no question and they say yes and look at me, then I'll say, fine, we'll go to the next question, or if they say no. So we're not hung up on procedures and protocol. I will tell you this, if they get close to the 2-minute mark, Tamika, our timekeeper, will hold up the yellow card. That means they have 30 seconds left. So nobody should get concerned or upset because the yellow card's up. It doesn't mean a thing to anybody except Tamika and the candidate. And as I explained to the candidates, they are not to rush to complete a sentence or a thought or cut themselves off in mid-sentence. That's not our objective. So when Tamika holds up the red card, all that means is they've used up the allotted 2 minutes, but if they're in the middle of a sentence or a thought, they certainly should complete that. So are we trying to be fair to everybody? I think we are. The bottom line is we don't want you citizens to miss out on a thought because the red card came up and one of them stops in mid-thought. That's not going to happen. We're not doing that at all. Well, this is being live streamed by our friends here at the library and also being recorded, and it will be later be available via links, and you can get those links from social media, both the library's Facebook and other social media and the Chamber of Commerce Facebook and other social media. We may actually have it scheduled on our website, Chamber website at some point. So there'd be certain times when we would begin running each one of them and go from there. All right, let's begin. We're welcoming today candidates for City Clerk Treasurer, and they are Kara Paxton and Lorinda Smith. Now, I thought it was instructive, and I thought it might be for you, for me to quickly go over the primary duties of the City Clerk Treasurer. The reason I'm doing this is because I didn't realize how much they do. I didn't realize how complicated, how many responsibilities. And I think once we all do, maybe we'll enjoy this conversation a lot more when we understand what they're dealing with. So according to the city's website, here are the primary duties of the City Clerk and Treasurer. Attend, are you ready? Attend all regular and special city council meetings. Oh, do we need any more job description? That's a full job right there. Some of you I know attend council meetings from time to time. You realize that they do tend to be rather lengthy. So these ladies, along with the council members and the mayor, serve us well, and they serve us at great length sometimes. So they also prepare the city council agendas and the minutes for the official minute record book. The city clerk directly supervises the development and implementation of record retention policies and procedures in accordance with state law. The clerk maintains a current listing of the city boards and committees, advertises for vacancies, and schedules interviews for vacancies. The clerk maintains the city code of ordinances. He or she maintains the policy and procedure manual for city policies and coordinates updates to city policies. This person has to be able to provide notary service. They provide support for the city council. The person is responsible for the coordination of city elections with the election commission. So a lot of work has already gone in before this election ever started with the filing and other things that the current clerk is responsible for. The clerk schedules meetings for various city meeting rooms, provides notification to staff and the public of these meetings, serves as ex officio secretary and as a voting member to the Firemen's Pension and Relief Fund Board of Trustees and treasurer, and a voting member of the Policeman's Pension and Relief Fund Board of Trustees. The clerk attends the meetings and prepares the agendas, minutes, and appropriate correspondence for those boards, those two boards. Okay, big job. Maybe that's why we don't have 5 or 6 people running for this job. It could be quite a job, and yet it's an opportunity for this individual to serve the citizens and the city council. So we'll start with our questions. We'll start with our opening statements, and these ladies have been able to prepare. So the first opening statement will be may I ask permission to call you by your first names during this thing? Certainly will be a lot easier than calling you Ms. and Mrs. and whatever. Okay. So, Kara, you have the first opening remark.
My name is Kara Paxton. I'm the city clerk treasurer for the city of Fayetteville. I've been in the position for 5 years now. I want to start by giving you a little bit of information, and I want to first thank the Chamber of Commerce for going through what the job description is for the city clerk treasurer. It is definitely a job for someone who is not faint of heart at all. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Mr. Mays also mentioned the late night meetings. There have been times over the years that I've been there till 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, there is a lot of work because we have to make sure once that council meeting is done, we're not finished. We're already working on and have prepared the next agenda. That is something that we are always one agenda ahead. And that's one thing that I have really advocated for over the last 5 years is transparency. When it comes to public comment, agenda items, making sure that we're using citizen dollars properly, that we're taking the technology and software that we have access to, and we're using it to its max capability. Another way that I've ensured that we're able to do that is I've continued the education of myself and for my team members. I've actually been able to become a certified municipal clerk in less than 2 years. I've also become a master municipal clerk, as well as I have a bachelor's degree in computer and information technology and a master's degree in information systems management. This has served me so well over the past 5 years because we've been able to take so many of our paper processes and we've made them into electronic processes that better benefit the community, our citizens, and our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Kara, D'Amico, you ready? All right. Have the opening remark now by Lorinda.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and a special thank you to the Fayetteville Chamber of Commerce for hosting this forum. I'm Lorinda Smith, and I'm running for the Fayetteville City Clerk Treasurer position. I firmly believe in the importance of communication, commitment, and transparency. Public service is my passion, and it was a true honor to serve the city of Fayetteville as an employee for 9 years. My journey started under the mentorship of the late Sandra Smith, who served as city clerk for 21 years. Her unwavering dedication to our community has inspired me, and I'm proud to continue her legacy of service. A couple of key issues I plan to address as city clerk is the lack of communication within the city offices under the current administration. This gap has led to inefficiencies and missed opportunities, affecting city operations and, more importantly, the residents. I believe that open dialogue and coordination across all departments are essential for a well-functioning city. My top priority will be to foster strong communication within our city offices to ensure smooth operations and that the needs of our residents and staff are met promptly and effectively. The current administration's 100% turnover rate during her first term is deeply troubling, as it suggests significant instability and challenges in retaining staff, clear signs of underlying issues within the office. Furthermore, her application for the position of Deputy City Clerk in Siloam Springs underscores a lack of commitment to the city clerk role. Throughout my career, I have been committed to enhancing transparency, demonstrating dedication to all citizens, and promoting open communication. My diverse experience from education administration to executive roles have provided me with the skills necessary to serve effectively as your Fayetteville City Clerk Treasurer. I'm committed to ensuring that every voice in Fayetteville is heard and valued.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. All right, we'll get into our questions now. Remember that each candidate has 2 minutes to respond, up to 2 minutes. Certainly don't need to take the entire time. First question goes to Kara. Tell us about your background and qualifications for this office.
Thank you so much for that question. So, as I mentioned before, I have a master's degree in information systems management. My love is information technology, and I found that in the role as city clerk treasurer, that's where I'm meant to be. I love everything that I do. I love the team that I work with. We are all public servants, and we go above and beyond for each and every person that we interact with. With this role, there are so many things that you have to take into consideration. You are a separately elected official. You do not report to the mayor. You do not report to the city attorney. So in the circumstance, being a separately elected official, you are there to advocate for your team and to advocate for the citizens of Fayetteville. There are a lot of times where I've met some employees over the years in different jobs that I've had. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that have served in public service that get to the point where they just don't want to do it anymore. I've never felt that way one day in my 20-plus years of being in public service. I love absolutely everything to do with our community. I serve every day to make sure that my daughters, age 13 and 9, are strong, independent, young women that know that they have a voice and that they can stand up for themselves, no matter what the circumstance is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Lorinda, question again. Tell us about your background and qualifications for this office.
So I actually have served under Sandra for the 5 years. Prior to that, I was under Rainey Laycox at the City of Fayetteville. But my biggest role was with Sandra. I've got multiple years of education administration. I work in a C-suite currently, and all of that experience has prepared me for this role as City Clerk Treasurer.
Okay, thank you. I'll just ask a follow-up question. You mentioned worked in the C-suite currently. Just for those who might not be well aware, what exactly does that mean?
So I currently work at the Walton Arts Center and the Walmart AMP, and I am the intern coordinator at the Walmart AMP.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question goes first to Lorinda. So why do you want to serve the city as clerk treasurer? What's your motivation?
The motivation that I have is hearing from staff and citizens about different things that are happening in the city clerk office. And I'm just going back to the years that Sandra had it, and it was a well-run office, including Lisa Kim, the whole staff that had 10 to 15 years in there. I just think that I can go in and enhance the communication as well as employee retention.
Okay, thank you. Kara?
I really appreciate that question. You know, one thing that I think about, when I think about serving and being in this role for 5 years now, is the fact that you not only serve the citizens right, but you also serve the people that report to you. So I have a team of 5 members, and over the last 5 years, I've been able to advocate to get their wages up from under $15 to over that, because I had individuals upon arriving at the city of Fayetteville that had college educations that were making less than $15. That was actually, I'd only been at the city for 3 days until I was knocking on the HR department's door to find out exactly why that was. Because living in Fayetteville and being a part of the community, you can't work here and then not get to live here, right? We should all be here together. When I think about continuing to serve the citizens, I think about the fact that we need to be supporting the community through communication and collaboration. I've been able to do that over the last 5 years. I've worked with Experience Fayetteville. I've worked with the Fayetteville Public Library. We've created an event, the Region 4 Conference, for clerks all around our region. That's Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And we've brought them here to show them our beautiful city. And we've provided education to them so that way they can go back and they can serve their community as well. When it comes to managing an office and coming in as an elected official, we have to identify the needs of the office. One thing that I did when I came in the office is I kept every person that was there. I didn't let anyone go. In fact, I advocated for one of our longest individuals that served there, over 40 years, our document manager, to actually go from the point of full-time to part-time for 1 year so she could teach her replacement. I've had a few other people retire after that, and a few other people take some opportunities, making a little bit more money in the city, and that's something that I'm so proud that they felt that they could do, and that they value the experience and the education that we received from our department.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Do you have specific plans that you want to implement to improve the citizens' lives in Fayetteville? Carol, this will go to you first. Specific plans you want to implement.
So I love this question, and I want to tell you why. Our office has been so engaged, more so in the last 5 years than the clerk office had been in the last 15. We work with other departments and listen to the citizens' needs. Some of the internal projects that I've been working on and pushing for is to ensure each and every person has a laptop. So that way, when we come to the front to assist you, that way we pick up from where we are, we go directly to the front. We don't have to spend time logging in. We can help you right then and there. We created a retention schedule, so that way, whenever you call the city, you know exactly what department that you need to speak to when you're requesting records. I advocated for a program by the name of Just FOIA. It was one of the first items that we talked about at the city. And I just want to say thank you to Rob Qualls, because when I interviewed for the position initially, he was one of the other applicants and mentioned this. And even though I was selected for that position, he and I sat down and we had discussions about how we can better advocate for our city. That program has been an amazing resource. When you submit a request to the city, not only are you able to know exactly where your request is, but anyone, take for instance a supervisor, is able to look in and see exactly the status of that request. We've gone through renovations in our office. The office, whenever when I was appointed to the position, it was not ADA compliant. In fact, where 2 of my individuals worked, it caused an issue to where if a fire would have happened, they could have possibly not gotten out. The desks were up on blocks, and it had not been changed in 40 years. We corrected that. Some of the future items that I just want to share really quickly, and I know I'm going over just a little bit.
You might want to hold that, but since this question's ended, just hold those
Sure.
thoughts. You'll have
Sure,
another
thanks.
opportunity. Okay, so we're on question 3 here. So, Lorinda, do you have specific plans you want to implement to improve the lives of citizens?
Well, as I said earlier, I want to build on what's already there. There are some changes that need to happen, and it's not only for the citizens, it's for the staff. It's for mayor, the council members. There's just a clear lack of communication, commitment, and transparency, and those are my goals, to build on those as the Fayetteville City Clerk.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Just be sure you use another opportunity to finish up that thought, Kara. That's your opportunity. Let's go to the next question, and Lorinda, this will go to you first. What do you see as our city's strengths?
For our strengths, I feel like we have a great council as far as the council members. The mayor, the staff is perfect. There's always things that can be worked on there. I think we are continually evolving as a city and keeping up with the latest and greatest on the IT front. I think there's just some things that need to be tweaked as far as that, but overall, it's a perfect scenario.
Lots of strengths.
Lots of strengths.
Okay. Kara, your turn. The strengths that you see.
So whenever we take a look at all the different departments, the department that I'm responsible is the city clerk treasurer's office. And I can talk about what our strengths are, and it's our commitment to public service. That is what we're there for. Now, we work every day with other city departments, and as I mentioned in my initial interview with the Chamber of Commerce, we have two directors at the City of Fayetteville, Yolanda Fields in Community Resources and Jonathan Kurth in Development Services. These two individuals go above and beyond each and every day, and they're ready for each and every meeting that they're at. To me, that shows the commitment. So that's one of the strengths that I would say is the individuals that are participating on a director level, their commitment to serve the City of Fayetteville and to serve the citizens. My commitment is to stay as a transformational leader. I want to make sure that I'm affording the same opportunities, the same schedule, the same learning opportunities for my team as I do myself. When I came into the position, a lot of it was weighed on what people could do based on their seniority. I've done away with that because I want to make sure that the individuals, each and every person on the team, has the opportunity to not only be there, but to be able to also live outside of the office. You know, we've worked on many different projects over the years. And just to follow up on the last question, my team has gone above and beyond with the new implemented youth council. And I would say when it comes to transformational leadership, and what I'm most proud of is the fact that the city council approved and created our youth council. They are amazing individuals. I'm just so proud of their ability to talk to one another and come up with ideas to solve issues with little interaction from adults. I mean, when you take a look at how far we've advanced in the last 20 years, when I was in high school, we had dial-up. I lived way out in the country. These individuals have direct access to information, and not only are they able to use that, but they are using it in a way to advocate for themselves and the community.
Thank you. Now, you're going to get a chance to transition here because the next question, which goes to you first, Kara, is what do you see as the city's weaknesses? I guess that was predictable, wasn't it?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So this question actually came up in my interview also with the chamber, and I look at any type of feedback as good feedback. We can always do better. We have to be able and we have to be willing to ask the hard questions. I feel that we need to get to the point as a city, as a whole, to say, what can we do better? Sure, we're doing great things, and that's wonderful, but what can we do better? How can I better serve that business that has submitted an alcohol permit by paper? Well, the city has gone above and beyond to implement a software program that when that alcohol permit gets requested, It electronically gets reviewed, and then it comes to my office for my review and my approval to ensure that everything is taken care of, as well as the permit fee paid. That used to take hours and waiting for somebody to be in the office, going back and forth. Now we can do it by not even having to create all of that paper, which takes time, without having to travel to another office. And that is one thing that we can always do better, is ask our community partners, whether that be Experience Fayetteville, whether that be the Chamber of Commerce, whether that be the Fayetteville Housing Authority, whoever that may be, how can we do better and how can we better serve you? Thank you.
Okay, Lorinda, your turn. Weaknesses?
So the weaknesses that I see as a citizen and a former employee are the lack of communication within the city offices. Like I said, my goal is to remedy that issue, because when you have the lack of communication within city offices, that trickles down to the citizens, so things might not get out to the citizens in a timely, effective manner.
Okay, thank you. Carrie, you mentioned an item that's the very next question. Alcohol sales on Sunday will be on the ballot on November 5th. And so, Lorinda, it's your turn to answer first. And so the question is, do you support that? Would you vote for it?
So I will vote if that's what the constituents would like to vote on. I'm not completely involved in that right now. It's more the housing and the homelessness, but I will talk to the constituents and see what their thoughts are on that.
Okay. Kara, same question.
Sure. So a lot of you may not realize this, but as Mr. Mays explained earlier, our office does have a lot of responsibility when it comes to coordinating elections. So the alcohol sales on Sunday is actually one of those items that we worked with the county with. So our office was responsible for verifying over 4,200 signatures. We did that in record time because we wanted to make sure the citizens of Fayetteville had access to the information to know exactly what they would be voting on in November. The role of the city clerk treasurer is to create transparency, and that's what we do on a daily basis. We respond, we answer our phones, we are there when you come in because we're here to support you as the citizens. Alcohol sales on Sunday is a very important question. And as we move forward and as we look at all the signatures that it took to get on the ballot, that has to weigh on the decision that is made. And that is something that each voter that is registered and has a commitment to the city of Fayetteville will vote on, and it will be determined by the majority.
Okay, so a little topical humor. You're sure that all those signatures that turned in were valid, registered voters?
You better believe it.
You're sure that the document was signed by the people that collected the votes? Okay.
You can see my certified memo sent to the county.
Okay. Yeah, little humor related to a state issue right there. Let's get back to local issues. Let's see. Carol, you'll go first on this one. How would you describe your management style?
So as I mentioned forward, I really see myself as a transformational leader. I want to make sure that the individuals that work in the office with me have the knowledge, the skills, and the training to make sure that they are meeting your needs as a citizen. Whether that means me having to not go to training in order to send another person, taking turns going to training. I have even gotten to the point where I have not taken mileage or per diem for going to travel and training in order to make sure that I have more money in our budget to send someone else to training. One plan that I have going into this next year, and our team is really excited about it, is we have set aside a specific amount of money for each and every person. That way, as online training comes up throughout the year, whether that be Zoom or through the International Institute of Municipal Clerks or through Laserfish, which is the city's database management program, that we can take that opportunity to make sure that we're growing each other's skills. And if we all can't go, or if we all can't take that online class, that's fine, because that person that's taking it takes notes. And then I have that individual come back and they share the knowledge with the rest of us. That is one thing that I have found over the years is so important as a leader, is to give opportunities. You know, I hope that I get to work with the team that I have forever. They are all great and wonderful people. However, I want to make sure that as I'm growing their knowledge and their skills, that I'm supporting them so they can then go back and support their families. Maybe later on, based on the skills that they've been able to receive and the knowledge and the education that they have, maybe they apply for another position in another department, making $3 or $4 more an hour. Well, that means that our office now has created a relationship. And we know that we're going to continue to support each other going forward. Thank you.
Okay, Lorinda, your management style.
So my management style is I'm going to go back to my years of service as education and in the C-suite, and also the internship program. But one of the things, I'm going to piggyback off of what Kara said, is the skills, the training, the knowledge, all of those are a given in any kind of management skill. One of the things I like to do is cross-train. I think it's very important that everybody knows the positions, even the city clerk's position. If for some reason you have to be out of the office for any length of time. So that's my style.
Okay, thank you. So once again, Carrie, you gave me a segue. You mentioned once that you had to ask some hard questions sometimes. I'm about to ask you a hard one. You recently spoke directly to the city council in a public meeting to advocate for an addition to your staff. Now, the question is, was this the appropriate manner to make your needs known? And would you use this method again in the future to seek support for your staff needs?
So the answer to that question is absolutely. I will go above and beyond, no matter if I have to work 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 18 hours a day, whatever it takes, to make sure that I am advocating to meet the needs of our citizens. As we have seen in the last 4 years with COVID, information requests have increased. People need that information in order to make decisions on their daily lives. If you work a 40-plus hour a week job, it's so difficult for you to come to a city council meeting, correct? That's at 5:30 in the evening. Well, if I can make sure that I've gotten the information out to you early enough, you can send in a public comment out electronically. Well, I view that the same way as in my position. I have to advocate and I have to ask for what our office needs. I do that each and every year in a budget. A lot of people don't realize that I manage over a $400,000 budget, as well as roughly about a $200,000 capital improvements project. That capital improvements project purchases things like large production scanners. You know, we have to be able to advocate and say, hey, maybe we have a scanner, but there's no person sitting at it. How is the work getting done? How can we better serve you? If you've gotten to the point where you have called into an office and it's ringing and ringing and ringing and you leave messages, how frustrating is that? I don't ever want that to happen. Our phones get answered, and we do that because we make sure and support one another with the setup that we have when we've taken the amount of team members that we've had. I even have gotten to the point where when we have individuals out, it doesn't matter what role you're in. If the phone is ringing, we answer it. We serve you because we're public servants. And I will never, never stop advocating for the citizens of Fayetteville. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Lorinda, You want me to repeat the?
I do.
Okay. Kara recently spoke directly to the city council in a public meeting to advocate for an addition to her staff. And the question was this the appropriate manner to make her needs known or the needs of the office? And would you or she use that method again to seek support for staff needs?
No, I would not use that method if I was the city clerk. I think that's an internal thing that doesn't need to be gone and put out in front of the public. I think that could have been handled internally, as a lot of the city council members had mentioned to Kara. When I was under Sandra's administration, there was the same amount of people there, and we always got the work done. So I can see that it may have increased a little bit, but not enough to warrant a new employee.
Okay? All right. You've done very well, both of you, and so we're ready for our closing statements now,
Oh.
which you had already prepared in advance. So, Lorinda, you'll go first.
As we look to the future of Fayetteville, standing at a crucial crossroads, with a 100% turnover rate in the key city clerk positions, it's clear that our city needs strong, consistent leadership. The decisions we make now will profoundly impact our community for years to come. If elected as your city clerk treasurer, I'm committed to fostering a future where the city clerk's office is not only a pillar of trust, reliability, and transparency, but a model of effective collaboration. I envision a city where open communication is the norm and where the city clerk's office is in harmony with other city departments in our community to achieve common goals. The vision is not only about addressing past challenges, it's about leading a team that is focused on city work and dedicated to building a better future for all of us. I am devoted to restoring the integrity of the city clerk's office, ensuring that it serves the people of Fayetteville with dedication, transparency, and teamwork they deserve. I humbly ask for your support in making this vision a reality. Together, we can ensure our local government remains a source of pride, trust, and effectiveness for all the residents of Fayetteville. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Last word, Kara.
Sure. First want to say, again, thank you to the Chamber for hosting this event, and thank you all for being out here. I really appreciate you. I know it takes a lot after you've worked all day long to come here and be in a meeting, so thank you for coming and listening to us. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm the city clerk treasurer for the city of Fayetteville. I'm also a veteran. The core values that I hold very dear in my heart are loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. These values that I learned at the age of 18 when I enlisted into the military, I've held near and dear to my heart. One of the reporters asked me how old I was the other day, so I'll just tell you I've held those near and dear to my heart for 20 years now plus. I am so thankful for my time in service because I got to meet people all around the world. And as you know, living in our wonderful city of Fayetteville, we're not all alike, we're all different. And that's what we're here for. We're here to engage, and we're here to have community, and we're here to care about one another, and we're here to support one another. I have gotten to the point over the years seeing how we interact, and I am so thankful for the support that I have received over the last 5 years from internal departments at the city, from Yolanda Fields in Community Resources, from Jonathan Kurth in Planning. You know, there are so many individuals throughout the city, Les McGaw in Purchasing, where we've been able to go in and partner with them and create opportunities and new processes in order to create the ability for citizens to see our transparency and that you see your tax dollars at work. I will continue till the last moment that I'm in this position advocating for the citizens. I want to make sure that as we move forward, that each and every citizen knows my commitment to the city. I will always be there. I will always be available, no matter if it's at night or if it's on the weekend. You can call me. I give my work cell phone out to each and every person that I come in contact with, as well as answer anyone on social media. So again, I thank you all for being here this evening, and again, I thank the Chamber of Commerce for holding this forum and the Fayetteville Public Library.
Well, thank you both. Let's give them a hand. You know, public speaking and running for public office are two of the things that people fear the worst, and you're both engaged in both of them today, and we appreciate that. You voters and citizens either here today or watching a recorded issue need to understand that you can see a replay of this at the links provided by either the library on their website or social media and the Chamber's website and social media. So they'll be shown numerous times between now and the election on November 5th. Thank you all for coming. Thanks again to the library for hosting us today and to Ozarks Electric for being our sponsor. That concludes this forum.